Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to Moon Clan in Clangen with our Royal Blood Challenge. So last time we had an amazing thing happen, and that is our royals have had a litter. Not just any litter, a massive litter of 6 kits who are now apprentices, I believe. Let me look at them. Yes, they are apprentices. And they're all doing so well. Look, there's Frosty Paw, Flower Paw, Lake Paw, Finch Paw, Aster Paw, and Chirp Paw. So those are our new royal cats who will be next in line to surpass Goose Star, the son of Sparrow Star and Rowan Pelt. We have lost Rowan Pelt, and Sparrow Star has since stepped down now that Goose Star is in there and has become Sparrow Beam and decided to settle down with a peasant cat, Emmy Tooth. But not just that, they had a kit, even at their age, Gardenia Paw. And Gardenia Paw, although they are the offspring of a royal and a peasant, Tangle Freckle, our medicine cat, has decided to take Gardenia Paw on as the royal doctor, which I think is so appropriate for this sweet kit. So now it's really kind of a waiting game. We're going to be going through patrols, seeing what cats could fight for the right to be knights, because we don't have that many knights. We're about to have many nobles, which is great because I think Clovertooth is one of the very few right now. We're slowly catching back up when I honestly thought we were going to have a repeat of Sun Clan, which would have been so sad. I'm glad we're not there. So I'm going to hop right into patrols. I'll keep y'all updated, and then we'll see what cats might want to fight for the right to be a knight. So we're on the 59th moon. Nothing too interesting or detrimental happened, thank goodness. That's not what we're hoping for. But I thought this was quite sweet, and I wanted to read it out loud. Lilith places small feathers and shining stones near the nest of each clanmate while they're on patrol. So sweet Lilith, who's been around for a long time, she's an elder now, decided that she wanted to do something nice and decorate everyone's nest. That is so sweet. But she is a thoughtful cat, so I'm not surprised by this at all. Oh my gosh, so much has happened. Okay, let's go and focus here. Oh no! No! Oh, my heart breaks, no! Gardenia Paw was bitten by a snake and succumbed to the venom. While out collecting herbs to surprise Tangle Freckle at how much they had learned, they found a snake, but not fast enough. And poor Emmy Tooth chokes back wails and tears, trying to get to the end of the story they've been telling about Gardenia Paw's days in the nursery. They can do this. They can make sure Gardenia Paw is honored at their vigil, even if Emmy Tooth can't do anything else for them. As the days pass, Emmy Tooth becomes angry and withdrawn. It feels like the entire clan is moving on from Gardenia Paw's death, which they refuse to do. Oh gosh, that's so... y'all. There aren't many situations where I'm like this devastated. Most of the time I'm like, dang, we lost a cat who had an important role, but this is devastating. The love child between Sparrow Beam and Emmy Tooth has passed. In a little bit happier news, although it is hard to be happy even in this case, Wheatcrawl announces they are having even more kits, so more nobles, or should I say royals technically, to add to our clan. A loner brings their kit named Wet to the clan, stating they no longer can care for them. So let's go look at little Wet Kit. Perhaps in some way, Emmy Tooth could possibly help take care of this little male kit. He has pale blue eyes, the Sakoke pelt. I'm pretty sure I'm still not saying that right, and I can't be bothered to research it at all. Apologies. They have medium fur and the lonesome trait. Unfortunately, many of our cats are sick or grieving. Any cats that could be working up the chain of ranks. And so many of these moons are passing with no one stepping up for a duel or a trial at this time. And so we go on into the next moon. So Wheatcrawl thinks this time they're having a small litter. They don't believe in the successful completion of their duties while expecting kits and prefer to move to the nursery. So Wheatcrawl is officially moving to the nursery. But there has been another loss of life in the clan. Little Robin Paw, who had been sick from a wound, died of the infection. Everyone mourns the loss of this young life. It is so hard to see young cats die. It's like they never had a chance. And the clan is deeply affected. Goosestar is wondering if perhaps his reign is cursed. And Wheatcrawl doesn't know he feels this way. He doesn't want to burden her with these thoughts because she's expecting more kits. But he prays to Star Clan every night for the protection of his own kits and for any other kits that are trying to survive in the clan. It is now the 62nd moon and new life has been brought into the world. Goosestar has been impatient for the end of Wheatcrawl's pregnancy, and when they hear Wheatcrawl has gone into labor, they drop what they're doing and sprint to the nursery where Wheatcrawl is bringing a litter of 3 kits into the world. I should have known that a cat who had 6 kits as her first litter would think that a litter of 3 kits was a small litter. 3 kits is still a lot, and they still have their other kits as well. So let us look at the new life that has been brought into this clan. We have Comfrey Kit, a little male with blue eyes, a speckled pelt, short fur, and the sweet trait. There's little Droplet Kit. Oh, why do I love that name? Droplet Kit. Oh, that's so cute. A little female, blue eyes. Blue eyes seem to be like their signature. I think all of the cats have blue eyes. This cat has a smoke pelt with medium fur and the lonesome traits. We also have another little male, Junco Kit. Junco? Let me know how you think that should be pronounced in the comments below so I don't continue to make a fool of myself. But this little kit is a male with blue eyes, the single stripe pelt, short fur, and the bossy traits. I cannot wait to see these little ones grow. And we're on to Kodiak. She is our beautiful female cat who participated in a duel recently against Molefeather and won and became knighted. Now that Kodiak has gotten comfortable and cozy in their spot as a knight, they are really seeking fame here. They want to move up in the rank, especially with their experience at Master with 321 points. And so they ask if they can be given a trial to become a noble. Now, Clovertooth, Goosestar, and Wheatcrawl's indisposed, so she's not involved in this. They aren't too happy with this. They are lacking knights, and they try and tell Kodiak being a knight is still important. Being a noble, yes, it sounds exciting, but we need our knights. But Kodiak says, I want this. And because she is so stern in wanting this, they agree. So Clovertooth will set up a trial. Now this one might be a little harder. I'm going to look through all of our nobles that are adults and we'll see how it goes. All right, so there are only 2 actually. 2 because of Sparrowbeam. Sparrowbeam is no longer king and he stepped down, so technically he is still a royal, but his place is among the nobles right now since he no longer has the place of king. So he counts as a noble, and then there's Clovertooth currently. All of the apprentices who will become nobles of the royal bloodline will not be counted for this. So essentially Kodiak, when I roll, will only have to get above a 2, so a 3 and above. For this trial, Clovertooth is going to think of something that Kodiak could do with their skill to truly prove their worth. The cats have not been able to catch as much prey recently, as many of them are distracted with raising the royal blood, keeping the borders safe, and prey has fallen to the wayside because apprentices aren't great at catching prey just yet. And so, the trial is that Kodiak must go out and must find a small fawn hiding within the grasses. There aren't many left because of the time of year, but there are still some, similar to how it happens in Wolf Quest. Kodiak must find and kill a young fawn and bring it back safely. It's going to be a lot of work because even baby fawns can be as big as cats. Now, Kodiak is a large female cat. She's big. She's definitely proven herself. She is capable. But this will truly be a trial of endurance and of strength to prove their worth. So now we roll. So fortunately, I rolled a 7, which was much higher than even needed. Kodiak successfully goes and stalks the scent of deer, which is not something Kodiak would typically go after. It's honestly exhilarating. And they feel like a wolf as they're stalking the forest as a small cat looking for a deer. And they finally come across one that is a mother and a baby is nearby. Babies are hard to find, as we know from Wolf Quest, if any of you play that. Baby ungulates in general do not emit a scent. They're very difficult to find because they emit no scent. It actually keeps many of them safe, and that is how they survive. But the females, the does and the cows of like elk, for example, will put them into the grass while they go and graze, and they watch from nearby. So they don't have to keep an eye on their little one the whole time while they're grazing. And plus that, they're small, so they're easy pickings, but when they're hidden, it's much harder for them to meet a predator. But Kodiak successfully does this and finds this fawn hiding amongst the grasses and is able to chomp down on its throat, cutting off its airway, and the fawn passes before the mother even notices because the fawn couldn't bleat with its throat being crushed. With all of her strength, endurance, and determination, drags the fawn back to camp, and everyone feasts. And it's as if no one was hungry at all. And Goose Star feels a little relief, thinking, perhaps my reign is not cursed if I have strong cats around me. And after the cats all finish their feast, Goose Star and Clovertooth go up to the high rock and proclaim that Kodiak has more than earned their place as a noble amongst nobles. And so Kodiak will now get the noble rank. And now we are on to the 63rd moon, and Goose Star calls upon the clan, announcing that Aster Paw will be a warrior. Now Aster Bark. What a nice name, and they are celebrated for their responsibility. Goose Star does the same, calling to Fringe Paw and declaring that they are now Fringe Tooth, and they are celebrated for their tenderness. And Flower Paw, one of our royal children, gives Fringe Tooth something to adorn their pelt as congratulations, which I think is very sweet. I think we're going to have to check relationships just to kind of see where we stand. And then we have Ploverbuzz. Ploverbuzz saved a kit from a snake, but was bitten in the process and succumbed to the venom. Ploverbuzz saved one of the royal kits that Wheatcrawl just had. As the clan sits vigil, Sparrowbeam's voice cracks with grief, talking about the time they had with Ploverbuzz. When no one needs anything from them, Sparrowbeam breaks down, wailing uncontrollably and cursing the world that took Ploverbuzz instead of them. Goose Star is so moved by seeing his father, who cared greatly for Ploverbuzz and saving his child and Sparrowbeam's grandchild, that he declares that even though Ploverbuzz is past, that Ploverbuzz will be buried as a knight of Moon Clan, that their great act of sacrifice is only worthy of a knight, and therefore they will be a knight among the stars. Many of the kits and even apprentices are blissfully unaware of how devastated their grandfather was. Molefeather, after seeing everything that happened, decided to take a long walk deep in thought, likely grieving the loss of Ploverbuzz. Droplet Kit, unaware of what's been going on, has decided to chase fireflies around the camp while the older warriors are sleeping. So we have a little bit of a sneaky Kit trying to get away with not sleeping in the nest at night. I do find it interesting that Asterbark was the first to become a warrior out of the royal kits, but I did happen to notice something. She has a bloodthirsty trait. So we'll take a moment to actually look at many of our cats to see what traits and relationships they have for the last bit of this episode. I think it's important to keep track of where everybody is as we go along to develop their story further. So Goose Star, our king, actually has quite a bit of love for everyone. Obviously, there's much love for his father. There is some like for the royal doctor, but I can't really blame Goose Star for disliking the doctor just a little bit. There is platonic love for Clovertooth, some like for Immytooth, but not a lot of like. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that Immytooth is not Rowan Pelt, and Rowan Pelt is Goose Star's mother. There is much love for Wheatcrawl, obviously. However, he dislikes Whisperpelt and greatly dislikes Lilith, which I find interesting. There's some like for Molefeather, a little bit of like for some of the other cats, has respect for Leon but doesn't necessarily like him. Obviously there's platonic like for his children. Wheatcrawl is about the same, however she has a lot more like for the doctor and a lot of reliance on Sparrowbeam and the doctor, which I think is amazing. So much romantic love for Goose Star, and she feels secure with her mate, which as somebody who feels that with their own husband, there's nothing like feeling secure with the person that you love. Ooh, I see that Wheatcrawl is playing a little bit of favorites, and she even has a small crush on Kodiak. Oh, spicy. But obviously not enough to go against Goose Star. But she is playing favorites with Flowerpaw and very much with Finchpaw, which I find interesting. But she still loves her kits very much. Ooh, I do believe I found something very, very spicy. Molefeather hates Goose Star. And it could have something to do with maybe she just doesn't like the royals in general. As you can see with Sparrowbeam, she just has a tiny bit of like for him, but it's very tiny. It seems like she's very upset that she was told she'd have to be a peasant forever. Maybe she's regretting the fact that she didn't leave when she lost that duel. Ooh, what's even spicier is that Kodiak also has romantic feelings for Wheatcrawl. I hope this doesn't cause problems in the future. Oh, but she also has romantic like for Goose Star? What is going on? What is this? And let me just say, I love that Salt is so in love with Tanglefreckle. He's not easy to love. He's kind of a rough doctor, a bit cold, rough around the edges, and yet Salt feels so much love and security with this cat. It's honestly so sweet. And for our final moon before we end, Wheatcrawl can hardly believe how quickly time has passed since Chirppaw was a kit. It still feels like yesterday when they were tumbling around in the nursery, chasing after a moss ball or some other cat's tail. Misty-eyed with pride and joy, Wheatcrawl throws their head back and tries to cheer the loudest as Chirppaw is named Chirpfreckle and honored for their gallantry. What a thing to be honored for. And not just that, our little kit that was dropped off in the clan Wet Paw touches noses with their new mentor French Tooth, who was just recently made a warrior but is already trusted to have their own apprentice. And that is where we will leave it. Our clan is actually thriving. We've had a lot of deaths that were hard, especially losing little Gardenia Paw. That one really broke me. But we have so many royal apprentices and kits that are up and coming and keeping this clan alive. And they are the ones that will make sure that cats like Gardenia Paw are never forgotten and honored beyond the grave because of Star Clan and their faith to Star Clan while serving the royal family, being the royal family as well. I hope y'all liked this episode. If you did, tickle and poke that like button, subscribe to join our family if you haven't already, and jingle the bell so you're notified of when I post more videos. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for more of Moon Clan. Bye!